This question is from decent Dewan.
Whoa.
Respected Guruji, I am a Buddhist and a Vipassana practitioner. I have a question which I have asked many Vipassana teachers and other gurus, but everybody said that no one can answer this. In one of your video you mentioned, and also it is said in Buddhism, that rebirth is due to our unfulfilled desire or karma. I accept this, but then a question arises. Let us suppose I took birth for millions of times because of my karma desire, but before my very first birth, there was no body, no mind, karma desire, or nothing of me existed. Then why and how that very first birth came to existence?
Let's take that question further back. Evolutionary theory only starts after life has started, or at the beginning probably. But if you go back, creation itself, we may not know the exact trajectory of how it happened, but we approximately know how it happened, even as per modern science. I don't want to go into any theories, but obviously creation began somewhere. Somewhere means it may not be within the projections of human mind in terms of time, because it's not one, but in the yogic system, there have been estimates that there have been 84 creations till now, 83 creations till now, this is the 84th one. And up to 112 cycles of creation can happen. Beyond that, creation will be material-free, just pure energy creation. Well, obviously it's just a theory, nobody can prove or disprove anything about it. But it looks like a plausible theory because the markings of 83 and this being 84 are there for those who look very closely at it. But if I did not have karmic substance, how did I happen? That's a question. Well, you don't need a spiritual answer. Charles Darwin himself has explained this. You were a single-celled creature, and then you became two-cell, then you became three-cell, then you became multi-cell. Now you become little more. So you were also pre-life, became more and more complex life. Complexity itself is karma. Karma is not necessarily, even now as you sit here, karma is not necessarily only what you do like this. The thoughts that pass in your mind are karma, emotions that pass in your mind right now are karma. So gradually, karmic substance builds up, becomes more and more complex. Well, clearly, evolutionary sciences are telling us the initial human beings were very simple, they couldn't think much, they just survived like any other creature. So from there you built your karma. I don't know why nobody could answer this question for you, everybody knows this. Maybe they thought you are not worth answering. Because I am such a fool, I don't think anybody is not worth answering, because I don't think any question is not worth answering. I'm taking all kinds of idiotic questions from all over the world. Some of my advisors think this is a handicap, I'm too straight and blunt about too many things. But that's the way I will be.
Hello viewers, how are you? You have watched this video where a man, namely decent Dewan, is a Buddhist, and he has asked a question from Sadhguru about first birth of human. There is no doubt Mr. Sadhguru is a man of letters, he's a learned man, but as per my opinion, he has not been able to answer the question completely. Somehow he has touched the evolutionary theory and the Darwin's theory and other things. That's why I decided to answer this question completely in the light of Holy Quran, because the Holy Quran is the true word of Allah. And why it is the true word of Allah? Let me clear it first. In this connection, I'll put two examples before you. And there are numerous things which have been proved by the medical science. But at least I'll let you know how embryology is mentioned in Quran 1400 years ago. Allah says in Holy Quran about embryology in Surah Mu'mineen, chapter number 23, verse number 12 to 14. And certainly did we create a man from an extract of clay. Then we placed him as a sperm drop in a firm lodging. Then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot, and we made the clot into a lump of flesh, and we made from lump bones, and we covered the bones with the flesh. Then we developed him into another creation. So blessed is Allah, the best creator. Now another example of Big Bang, which is proved by scientists now, which is already mentioned in Holy Quran 1400 years ago in Surah Anbiya chapter 21 of Holy Quran, ayat number 13. Allah says, have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were joint entity, and we separated them, made from water every living thing, then will they not believe? So these are the two examples. Now coming to the relevant question of descent Dewan, about the first birth, which he asked the question from Sadhguru. That is clearly mentioned in Holy Quran. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Hijrah, chapter number 15, ayat number 26. Allah says, and we did certainly created a man out of a clay, altered black mud. As far as the rebirth is concerned, this is the conception of most of the people, that one man can take birth many times. So that is not true. The Holy Quran in this connection says very clearly. Allah says in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, ayat number 28. How can you disbelieve in Allah? When you were lifeless, He brought you to life, then He will cause you to die, and then He will bring you back to life, and then to Him you will be returned. So now in Quran, not many births are mentioned. So I think I have answered in the light of Holy Quran, because in Holy Quran Allah has clearly mentioned the first birth of human being. Thank you very much.